Tanzanian nationals have raised concern over the high cost of communication in the country. More than 200 personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces completed learning the Turkish language after 3 months of training. And the Gambia and Nigeria have boosted cooperations to combat drug trafficking in the sub-region. Well, these and more coming your way in News Desk. Many thanks for joining us. This is Africa TV. I am Amadou Kante, and now the news in detail. Now, Tanzanian nationals are lamenting over the new charges added by the government on the communication, which is affecting many people's life, especially those engaged in mobile money business. Authorities have, however, called for calm, saying they are aware of the public concern over the new updated tariffs. Over the years, this African country has witnessed a significant growth in the telecom industry. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Joyce Mujaya depends on her phone to run her online retail clothing business. 2 years ago, she began posting clothes online to build a customer base with hopes of one day setting up a physical shop. However, the recently introduced mobile money levies are making it harder for her to do business.
Clients who want to pay via mobile money are reluctant to incur additional costs to pay for product because the money they're sending to me has already been slashed on their end due to the levy. So what happens is that I end up incurring losses.
The new levies are not limited to mobile money transactions. Excise duty on airtime in Tanzania stands at 17%. Mobile services such as calls, SMS and data are subject to an 18% value-added tax. The government says it is paying attention to growing public concern over the rising cost of communication.
I ask that the public remains calm in these matters. We will continue to offer explanations in all areas that require clarifications, and we will take steps in the areas that require action so that the building of our nation can continue.
So far, the introduction of a mobile transaction levy has seen the cost of transfers double. The Mobile Network Operators Association says the levy has already resulted in a 45% drop in revenues.
Tanzania is the second largest telecoms market in East Africa behind Kenya. The market here has grown from 12 million unique mobile phone subscribers in 2010 to over 25 million last year.
Despite numerous levies, mobile phone subscribers in the country enjoy the lowest internet costs in East Africa. However, Joyce feels things could still get better.
At least half of the present cost. It will make it easier for someone to afford because we can't expect the government to completely remove the levies.
The government says levies in the telecom sector are supposed to finance development in rural areas. It hopes Tanzanians will see things the same way and keep using their mobile phones.
And from the report there in Tanzania, we come back home. Now, over 200 personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces have completed a 3-month Turkish language course in collaboration with the Marif International School. The course is geared towards preparing the troops on basic communication skills ahead of their airlifting to the Republic of Turkey for military training programs. Maria Macham tells us more of that in this report.
The 250 personnel, which includes 7 officers from the first batch of the proposed 500 soldiers to undergo training in Turkey. The military program is in response to the Gambia Armed Forces pledge to the UN in April 2019 that it will deploy a quick reaction force into one of the peace support operations in Mali, DRC Congo and the Central African Republic. Commandant of the Gambia Armed Forces Training School, Major Abdoulaye Job says the course is part of a package in preparations for possible UN peacekeeping missions.
The Turkish language course is one of a series of activities undertaken by the Gambia Armed Forces High Command through the Gambia Armed Forces Training School in preparation for possible deployment of a quick reaction force to one of the United Nations peacekeeping missions worldwide. This course is the first of 2 batches or contingents, if you may say, of 250 soldiers each, totaling 500 soldiers who are to be airlifted to the sister Republic of Turkey for special training. It is against the foregoing that a team of facilitators from Marif International Foundation were deployed to the Gambia to conduct the Turkish language course for Gambian contingents 2 and 3, respectively.
The course principal, Hussametin Iyupoglu, explained in detail the course content and the performance of the uniformed men.
During the period under review, apart from the distribution of the required learning materials in the form of textbooks to each and every course participant, so far we have taught a total of 12 weeks educational program, excluding official and religious holidays. A total of 288 hours of lesson were delivered, and we produced approximately 20,000 sheets of supplementary learning material. Handouts containing military literature were prepared and distributed to the students, and a total of 9 exams, including midterm and final exam, were coordinated during this past 3 months.
For his part, Deputy Chief of Defence Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces Major General Mohamed Ocham described the participation of this as purposeful and necessary.
Your joyful appearance this morning indicate that you are glad and that the sleepless nights of studying the Turkish language and struggling to meet the requirements are finally over. I am certain that those hard hours for the past 3 months you have been put through will not be in vain, as the course must have broadened your ability and proficiency beyond your ordinary knowledge to areas of learning new languages and skills of doing other things, amongst other benefits.
In addition to the basic linguistic background, the military learners went through courses on the Turkish culture, transport service, and other social and identities of the Turkish. The best students during the course of the training were awarded gifts. The third best Lieutenant Salif Bojang, second best Lieutenant Modwali, and the most outstanding student, Captain Mamin K.M. Fati, accepted the little token from the program. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Mariama Cham.
More than 200 personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces there completed training of learning the Turkish language before they are traveling to Turkey for other training programs. Moving on, in a bid to mitigate the effects of climate change, a group of Ugandans are out on a campaign to promote tree planting in the country. The move, according to the initiators, is geared towards protecting trees like ruminants to help preserve the environment. With the objective of planting 1 million trees annually, the foresters also want to use social events to propagate tree planting. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Campaigners in Uganda are growing pet trees. They are concerned many trees planted are not well taken care of and end up dying. Pet tree campaigners now believe creating a special bond with trees gives one the responsibility of ensuring it grows.
If we can have all friends in animals, which is part of wildlife, trees are part of wildlife as well. Even when they are silent, we think that they are real good friends to us for a lot of reasons. They give us fresh air, they help in mitigating and reversing climate change. So I think they are underrated.
There is concern that the country is losing most of its indigenous tree species because of their medicinal values. Some of these trees are now endangered and others are becoming extinct. Uganda's tree cover is just 12%, and campaigners want to increase this to 24% by 2040. Most of the trees are lost to wood fuel and construction. Foresters here are encouraging developing relationship with trees by naming them and taking care of them as pets till they grow in order to improve the tree cover.
So we are propagating so many of these seedlings so that people can take this back home and plant and regain what was once ours. Because some of these trees are just endemic, or they can only be found here in Uganda. So it is very important that we always preserve them.
The Better Tree campaign is hoping to use cultural ceremonies like marriages, birthdays and school clubs to promote the planting of more trees. Their goal is to grow at least 1 million trees annually with the hope of reversing the effects of climate change.
And from the reporter in Kampala, Uganda, we would now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of stories. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
The locations, the design, the materials used, all the way down to the latest details, are few of many things that we focused on when we envisioned the airport residency. As proud innovators of community estates, the airport residency in Old Yundum, a project by Swami India International, offers unique gated community with 3 and 4 bedroom villas and duplexes. Just 5 minutes away from the Banjul International Airport. Luxury, convenience, and accessibility are some of the reasons you should consider this great housing opportunity. With a clubhouse, a playground, access roads, and parking facilities available for your dream home or a valuable investment, you will find all you need at Airport Residency here in Old Yundum.
Welcome back. This is Africa TV, and once again, many thanks for joining us. And now to the rest of the stories. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency on Thursday signed a memorandum of understanding with its Nigerian counterpart to foster bilateral relations between the two countries in fighting against drug trafficking within the sub-region. The Nigerian delegation met President Barrow in State House to update him on the MOU. Let's have more details of that in this report by Awanjai.
In complementing the efforts of fighting against drug use and trafficking, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency of Nigeria signed a memorandum of understanding with its Gambian counterparts. Brigadier General Buba Marwa Mohammed and his delegation attended a closed-door meeting with the President to ask for political support with relations to the MOU. The General, after the meeting with President Barrow, shared details of the meeting while highlighting the main focus of the Memorandum of Understanding.
So the MOU is one more of these areas of cooperation between us. The drug trade, drug abuse, the drug cartels is one of the threats facing the international community, and it is up to countries, especially in our sub-region, to partner, collaborate, and cooperate to make sure that we eliminate the drug cartels and drug trade. This is the essence. And we briefed His Excellency that this is why we are here. We will share information, especially intelligence, operations, logistical areas, training, and any other area between us that will boost our mission of eliminating the cultivation, production, sale, and trafficking of narcotic drugs, psychotropic substances, and their precursors. This is the essence of it.
Brigadier General Buba Marwa Mohammed stated that the collaboration works towards amplifying the fight against drug use and trafficking not only in the Gambia but throughout the West African sub-region.
We do have within the ECOWAS partnership within the ECOWAS, but specifically country to country, this is one of the early ones. Ghana is one. We have other countries, both in Africa and globally, that we have MOUs, which we will be implementing. There are also a few more that are on the horizon, especially with India, which is one of the countries exporting, unfortunately, tramadol to Nigeria, which is one of the most harmful of the drugs that are used. In Nigeria, I'm not happy to say the prevalence of drug use is 3 times the global average. 14.3 million Nigerians use drugs. And of that number, the opioids is about 5 million. And of the opioids, 60% is tramadol. So this is a continuing exercise.
The Director General of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the Gambia, Bakari Kasama, dilated on the importance of the cooperation and how the Gambia can benefit from the MOU.
We look forward to partner with a country, a college institution like Nigeria, who have wealth of experience, wealth of knowledge that we can share, we can tap from, and of course also they can render technical support to us. These things he reiterated to His Excellency the President, the support that government should render to my institution, and he was assured by His Excellency the President that the political will is there and they will continue to render that support. But we have limited resources. But we can always count on our brothers, where government cannot provide, other partners cannot provide, possibly we can get that support from our counterparts.
In the Gambia and internationally, marijuana, also known by many street names, remains the most commonly abused illicit drug. Individuals of varying ages and economic status abuse it, though it is most popular among the youth. This is because it is affordable, commonly available and accessible. Most of the cannabis sativa found in the Gambia comes from the Casamance region of Senegal and the West Coast region, although it is grown in diverse places across the country. Statistics from Caesars reveals the presence of other forms of controlled and prohibited drugs like cocaine, heroin, diazepam, and bromazepam. The advent of new psychoactive substances is a threat that the Gambia is equally not exempted from. In order to curb this menace, the agency continues to work with relevant stakeholders at both the drug demand reduction and supply suppression front on measures and means to curtail this menace. Reporting for iAfrican News, I am Hawan Jai.
The Gambia and Nigeria signed an MOU to combat against drug trafficking within the sub-region. Finally, to Nigeria again. Now, a non-governmental organization in the country is providing opportunity for former prisoners to help them to integrate in the society. Nigeria is faced with a high crime rate, with an estimated 300,000 offenders reported within 2 years, revealed by European journal Scientific Research in 2019. The government is initiating measures to transfer inmates in different prisons in the country. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Adamu Tanko, not his real name, does menial jobs like mixing sand with cement for molding blocks at this factory in Jos, not central Nigeria. He is a former inmate who served a jail term in 2019 for theft. But he says reintegrating into the society has been challenging.
Life hasn't been easy though. Challenges up and down. I'm an African man. I'm supposed to provide for my family. And things are not just working for me the way I'm picturing it. So sometimes I do get tempted sometimes to what if I make that wrong move again then? But the economy, hardship, so I do get tempted sometimes, but I really want to be a better person.
According to a 2019 report in the European Journal of Scientific Research, 300,000 offenders were reported between 2013 and the first half of 2015 in Nigeria. Of that, 10% were first-time reoffenders, with some relapsed as many as 6 times.
If you conduct another survey now or research, you will find, tremendous increase. We're talking about the evolution in criminality. Today, the kind of crimes committed are more sophisticated in nature. The economy could be a reason, you know. Population explosion could also be another reason. And then bad governance too. The biggest challenge here within the Nigerian society is stigma. No sense of belonging. He doesn't really, he cannot cope outside. Whatever it is that made him go into the prison is also waiting for him when he comes out of it.
The NGO, City of Refuge Friends Club, offers help to prisoners and former prisoners like Adamu.
The first thing we do is counseling. And counseling can take a while, you know, because first, this person, you have to befriend him to a certain level, that he will open up and even tell you the truth that he didn't say in court. Once we start to notice that these people we are dealing with, you know, are ready for the next step, let me ask them, do you want to go to school? Some will say yes, some will say no, they want to go into business. We respect people's free will, even if they are ex-convict, we respect their free will. Whatever they want to do. If it is school, we enroll them into our school. You know, if it is business, we give them a soft grant to actually enroll.
Activists say overcrowded and dilapidated prison facilities are part of the problem, not offering prisoners the support needed to turn their lives around and prepare them for when they get out. The Nigerian government says it is working towards the rehabilitation of prisoners and the entire prison service. The government in 2019 changed the name of its prison service to the Nigerian Correctional Service after signing the Nigerian Correctional Service Act into law. The move is meant to give the prison service a new image and make it function more as a correctional institution rather than mere shelter for persons serving jail terms. The service and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime this year launched a project aimed at strengthening the social reintegration prospects of prison inmates by enhancing their access to education, vocational training, recreational activities, and other support services. The hope is that with such efforts, ex-prisoners like Adamu will not be tempted into crime again.
And that report there from Abuja, Nigeria, finally bring this news edition to an end. But for more details on this and other stories, as always, as ever, you can visit on our website on iafrica.tv. But there will be another news bulletin at 17:30 GMT, that's 5:30 local time. You can join us then if you can. But for now, many thanks for the privilege of your company. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and bye for now.